Hi, air signs, and welcome to your reading for February, March, and April of 2020. I call on my guides and your guides and all beings of light to assist me with this reading, and that everyone watching this gets a clear and accurate message for them. So I'm seeing 11, 13, and 14 as angel numbers, and I'm seeing a butterfly and a caterpillar. So I just feel right now that there's some transformation happening in these months, but it's kind of subtle. I don't feel like it's as much shadow work as the other groups that I've read for, because I'm getting a lot of shadow work, a lot of self-work, and a lot of dedication. And I'm hearing deathbed, which is kind of interesting, but I feel like it's not necessarily a physical deathbed. I'm getting a chill down my back and through my arms. So some of you, it might be, got a cold chill. Some of you have a spirit reaching out to you and about living your life and, kind of going to that deathbed perspective and understanding that, if I didn't mention, this is air signs. Sorry, guys. And I'm seeing Archangel Azrael. And it kind of reminds me of the Jewish symbol, but I feel like it's got a lot of light around it, a lot of gold light. And I'm feeling as if I'm going to astral project or try to. So the angels are really connecting with you, really connecting with your lifespan, with your life purpose, working with your spiritual self and your emotional self. I feel like a lot of you have been through a lot of mental turmoil, and Spirit's really wanting you to get the gist, is what they're telling me, of why and how it's so important right now for you to focus on you, and how you don't have to always be the caregiver. You can also acquire good works, do good deeds, doing it through your own experience, doing it for yourself, because Spirit's showing me it's an interesting concept and vision, and it's almost like spokes, like on a wheel, but it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like a wheel, but it's, how the old theater and how they used to play videos, and it, you cranked and stuff. So it's almost like I'm seeing karma, right, as the wheel, and then I'm seeing a lot of darker energy around it, and really it's all the negativity that, we're down on our self-esteem, we overcompensate for approval, we want to help everyone or else we're not a good person, this is what Jesus would do, sort of thing. And I'm not knocking that, saying at all we should all, strive to be better no matter which avenue you're looking at, which deity, which person. But it's almost like we are neglecting ourselves, and that is causing a lot of chain reactions in our life that is causing, bad health, bad credit, mental exhaustion, depression, anger, sadness, just grief, or even just kind of addictions. And we're just kind of, again, I feel overcompensating in ways that is just causing a lot of unneeded friction and causing a lot of mental fog, and it's just making things more harder than they have to be. So Spirit's really working with you, especially with Archangel Raziel. Raziel, because I just feel like there's a lot of energies clustered, around the angels right now for you guys, and I feel that they're really working through. I'm seeing your solar plexus very strongly, and I'm seeing like a pentacle, and I just feel like that has to do with protection, that has to do with all the elements of your life and of nature, and really working through things that you thought you've established, almost like you're doing on autopilot, like, oh, I know it, I need to drink water, I need to exercise, I need to pay my bills, things like that. But you're looking at it rushed, and you're not giving yourself time. And I'm seeing someone go like this. So maybe you're too focused on money. Maybe you are worried about how it's going to repay you in the future. There's a lot of worries surrounded around you guys as well. And I feel right now I'm seeing someone with a washcloth on their forehead. So migraines. And I feel like you guys are really ready for a download within March and April. But right now I'm feeling a burst of excitement, because that is true. That is happening for you guys. But you need to really flow, let things flow. And it's not like, oh, you have to work like the other group. It's more of like a gentle acceptance and a gentle reminder of you matter too. And that in itself is going to help you open the floodgates to these downloads, to these priorities that are going to be shifting soon, and things are going to become more clear. So it's really just about, I keep being drawn to the rose quartz. So connecting with rose quartz, connecting with the angels in these months is really going to be your best asset, your best catalyst for these blessings that are meant to come in your life. And I feel like you guys have struggled enough. I feel like there has been enough work that you don't have to keep giving so much. I'm not saying never give again to other people, but I'm seeing 3 weeks, maybe 4, you're going to have to take time for yourself. Really dedicate 3 to 4 weeks to yourself, and understand that you can absolutely delegate. There's other people that can help people. There's other things you can do to help that's not so straining on your time. And again, letting go of worries of karma. There's something surrounding you guys that it's a block. And whether you look at it as karma, you look at it as God's plan, you look at it as, I need to fulfill my goals in this way at this time, something that you had good intentions with has really kind of spoiled, and it needs to be rebirthed or put to rest, and something else come, automatically. It's almost like letting go so something can come in. So again, I'm seeing, it's weird. It's like I don't know how else to explain it other than, like a wheel, and it has a lot of negative energy around it. And it's like, you have to move it and have the angels cluster around it, and allow yourself the time to relax and to really do what's a new priority. It's almost like a health thing. That's going to open up a lot for you. Okay? In reverse is play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. So maybe that's what they were meaning about the wheel and then the extra energy, that negative energy. It might not even be negative, because I know a lot of people's going to be like, oh, black and white, good and bad. It doesn't always have to be that way. But just something that is not helping, right? Something that can be transmuted or put to the side and later re-examined. I felt like a tooth was loose. That's weird. Wisdom. I heard wisdom tooth. And then I'm seeing someone hurrying, eating, and then they hurt their tooth. That's making me wonder about my teeth now. But it's just spirit saying, and it's something, don't rush yourself. Have fun, relax. Because this energy is causing a buildup of anger or stress that's not needed. So maybe that's what that's about. But play, guys. You need to play this month. these months coming. So then in reverse is boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? A lot of groups are getting this. And I feel with this being in reverse, it's just really about understanding, you know, it's, again, I don't want you guys to overthink it and then it becomes work. But it's just like you really need to be more present. Really trust your intuition. That's going to open up a lot for you, because I feel the second guessing, needing to, reach out, is causing things to be rushed, things to be overlooked, the boundaries being blurred, and just a lot of extra, again, I just feel like it's a lot of extra work or a lot of extra energy that is not needed. And that's causing a lot of negative consequences or even just experiences that is not needed. So you're really kind of stepping back and doing things differently in these months, which is, again, going to help tremendously. Then you have, in reverse, trust your path. If you knew you could be supported, what would you do? So this is just really saying within reverse. This is saying supported with outside resources or not. What do you want to do? What is your path? How can you get to that? And if you feel like it has to be, well, if I was supported and I could do what I want, that's what I would do. Okay? But don't limit yourself, okay? That's where you're maybe overworking a little. Know that you are supported and trust on your path. And trust in the angels that they will bring something to you. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. And a lot of the times, the easiest way that I can manifest, and I've noticed that has really worked with my abilities, is that knowing deep down in my soul, if I'm meant to have something, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever, I give it to the universe, and I'm like, or God, and I'm like, if it's meant to happen, it'll come back to me, or it will come to me, or even not putting a label on it. Something great, something positive, something that will give me clarity. And it's giving spirit and yourself more room to really experience and get maybe something better than you planned. Because when you feel like you have to, what would you do? What would you have? Okay, that's too specific. So really having more open mind is really going to help you in these months, okay? Then in reverse, you got a lot of reverse cards, guys. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. So really it's saying, yeah, it's happening for you, but it's also happening to you for a reason. Not to make you feel like you need a crutch, not to make you feel sorry for yourself, but it's happening to you and for you because Spirit's telling me you're alive, you're experiencing. And you, again, that negative cluster or foggy or old energy, it's not meant to prevent you from moving forward. That could be another thing that I'm seeing with that wheel is maybe, and I'm seeing, and I saw this earlier, but I didn't mention it because sometimes Spirit gives me information and then I kind of try to, decode it or kind of put it in a different way. But I'm sorry, I'm using air quotes. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, so I seen a stoplight. So you have the green, the yellow, and the red. And so it's kind of like another thing with measuring or being present and allowing you to share the experience with other people, the collective. So again, it's about understanding that when something happens, it's not to stop you or necessarily bring you down. It's there because there's something else tied to it. It's like a domino effect, okay? And it's really about understanding that, yeah, you're not the only person in the world, but you are important. And sometimes it's more about understanding that you need to experience it for yourself. You need to be aware of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. That is part of the happening to you. How is things happening to you by your own will? Okay, and then you got to look on it from, there's other people that are going to do things with their free will, but how can you be more accepting and less, I don't want to even say negative, but how can you look at it in a more Zen way or a more comforting way, because when we look at things and we're like, it's kind of hard to explain how they're showing me because it's kind of confusing, but it's really not. I'm trying to make it simple, guys, because sometimes how spirit communicates can be very, very, it's weird to explain. It's like having all this information and you're trying to filter it, and sometimes to summarize that is very hard. But it's almost like, how can you have the balanced energy of understanding, do what you can do for you, knowing that you don't have to be selfish to do the best you can to take care of yourself. You can balance that energy from the outside and help other people, but understand when something bad happens, doesn't mean it's all about you. And you have the responsibility to take care of yourself and to alchemize that into something positive. Just like when you're manifesting, you can only do so much, and the rest you have got to let go. You've got to let things come to you. And, that it's just a weird energy because I'm trying to explain it the best I can. But how do I explain it? I mean, they're showing me like a rose quartz and a clear quartz. So, like they're both clear quartz, but after a while, how do I explain this? So I'm trying to do this best I can. So just imagine these are both clear quartz, right? And so this is the outside realm. This is you. Taking care of yourself makes it more light pink. So you still have that clarity and you still have that love, right? But when you are trying to see the big picture, you see things as they are. And good, bad, whatever comes through this temple or this portal is going to be white, but we get to decide how we kind of like, how do I explain it? It's so hard, but they're trying to show me the best way. But basically what I'm saying is we get to look at it any way we want. We can't affect how other people look at things. And so keep clear, keep open-minded when you're manifesting outward. And when you're experiencing outward, it shouldn't be black or white all the time. But it's up to you to have your own inner clarity and your own inner love, and to keep that energy flowing without discoloration of this. So it's almost like, it's kind of like self-healing. It's kind of like clearing the air, clearing your mind, body, spirit, and understanding that love is a great tool. And if anything's coming from outside of love and you don't try to filter it through love, that's when things are going to become difficult. So I'll try to give one more example before I go. Saying that, maybe this is why they brought up deathbed, but to make a long story short, someone that's, you're on your deathbed, or someone you know and someone you love is on their deathbed. And you can look at it as, this is happening to me, to that person. It's negative. It's not good, obviously. But when you filter through the self-love, you understand that you love that person loved you, and that in itself is comforting and is positive and is full of love, okay? And then when you look at it from the outside, the world, it's purifying this person. They get a clean slate. They still have the love attached, and they don't have to suffer anymore. And you are understanding that there should be a little bit of celebration. There should be a balance of goodbyes and a balance of letting go. And so you're really making things more clear for yourself and the people around you. So it's almost like you're opening more doors for that person to have an easier transition, and for you to get clear messages, and for things to be able to bless that soul that passed away and the people around that person and the energies and the whole collective. Okay? And when you say, for an example, I hate to use this, but the media, for example, we've always feared death. And when you don't filter it through love, through Jesus Christ, that, hey, or whoever you believe, I'm not knocking any religion because I'm eclectic, but when you are filtering through that understanding that, where was I going with that? Spirit was really guiding me, and then I just kind of lost it. But basically, to make a long story short, you're filtering it through the understanding. I lost it, guys. That's so frustrating. But basically, that you're filtering it through a higher vibration, and that in return is just going to help everything out, okay? And yeah, you can grieve, you could be mad or whatever, but not letting it sit there, not letting it cause havoc elsewhere, spread. So again, now I remember, like the media. We've feared being different for a long time, from death, from all kinds of things, different countries, who's going to be in presidency, and that's really just that really has filtered a lot of different energies in, and it's kind of made the waters mucky, and then we bring it into ourselves, and we just kind of lose contact with love, with clarity, with simplicity, and then it just goes everywhere like wildfire. But once we start with ourselves, and we really keep this, tangible as much as we can energetically, then that's going to help bring out more blessings into the universe. Yeah, it's nothing's perfect, obviously, but it's more about, it's kind of like being not really a wounded healer, but being a alchemist in a way. You're just being a healer, not only for yourself, but for those that are aware enough to feel it and see it. Kind of like when people are empathic, you kind of filter a lot of that energy, a lot of that negativity through you, so you can alchemize and help that person heal. But you got to remember to give yourself the same kind of attention and love, so that you can keep the clarity there, the love there. Because if not, then it's just going to become, you're going to start getting angry, okay? And then it's going to cause all these other things to happen. You're going to be more frustrated. You're going to eat wrong. You're not going to take care of yourself. Obviously, that's what happened with me as an empath, and I'm getting back on the path. So I do hope that this makes sense. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. If you're someone that likes to listen to me ramble more and, get to know me, have, more channeled messages, ASMR, healings, all that kind of stuff, check out my Patreon. And I will talk to you guys soon. Have a blessed 3 months.